Hello, my name is Rebecca and I will be your guide through the rough terrain that we all know as the automotive market. This presentation was completed for the summer session of data management and visualizations at UMGC with Professor Beam. I will review trends in the automotive industry over the past 4 years. I currently have worked in the industry for over 10 years, and every time I meet a new person, the conversation typically turns to, when's a good time to buy a car? And although most people have purchased a car before, few really understand the market. Not to mention, if you thought you knew the market before, it has drastically changed over the past 4 years. In figure 1, you can see that the monthly sales by manufacturer. There's 20 manufacturers in the market, and in 2019, we can see that most manufacturers are holding the same pattern for sales up until February of 2020. With the COVID lockdown, like many other industries, the world in the automotive market hit the brakes and came to a screeching halt. Evaluating the best performer in the US, we can see that General Motors had a little over 65% decrease in sales from February to April of 2020. Moving forward in time, there are heavy fluctuations from one company to the next, and we are unable to establish a pattern. This is due to each manufacturer overcoming post-COVID obstacles like staffing accommodations and parts availability differently. When we add a forecast for the future performance, we can see that the current trouble is difficult to accurately predict how an individual manufacturer is going to perform. The forecast quality is poor for most manufacturers, so to gain a better understanding of the market trends, we can roll up the data. Around this curve, we gain better insight into the road ahead. In this visualization, we will evaluate 3 manufacturers: a top performer, General Motors, a low performer, Volvo, and a disruptor, Tesla. When the monthly data is rolled up to the quarterly level, it provides a clearer pattern of sales, with General Motors and Volvo displaying similar performance shifts based on the time of the year. We can also see that starting in Q4 of 2021, Tesla has established a more significant growth pattern, which likely comes from their non-franchise business model. With each displayed manufacturer, we can see forecasted growth pattern, which is predicted with an accuracy of over 95%. GM and Volvo seem to be following historical seasonal trends, while Tesla is forecasted on a much more linear model, possibly surpassing General Motors in Q4 of 2024. We'll have to see if they win that race. In figure 3, we can see the market variables. To understand what kind of road we are on, we have to evaluate what it's made of. There are many different variables that could impact when you should buy a vehicle. Some are influenced by the consumer, others by the manufacturer, and what we've recently discovered, some are just truly bumps in the road and out of anyone's direct control. The average day supply is an important automotive metric that measures the number of days it takes for a manufacturer to sell its current inventory of vehicles. And we can see that the highest value was at 79 days in February 2021 and quickly dipped to 29 days in June. All the built-up stock had sold out and there was limited availability. Things were running rough. And the average number of available units has a direct correlation to the average day supply. Like any market, there's a supply and a demand, and the automotive conditions, what they were, things took a turn for the worse for consumers. The non-technical term for this shift is the Elmo effect. Much like Tickle Me Elmo in the 90s, dealerships cannot keep any vehicles on their lot. This resulted in a substantial shift in vehicle prices and interest rates. The trend lines of each variable show where we are in the market. As the supply in units trended down, the price and interest rates veered up and off of the road. This visualization brings us back to where we started. When should you buy a vehicle? The answer is now. Unfortunately, the data provided by Cox Automotive was only collected starting in late 2020, with a few missing data points in 2021. It's very valuable and offers the best supporting visualization. Here we can see that the road ahead has been impacted by the tumultuous road we have traveled over the last few years. While inventory is increasing, we can see that prices for what we expect to pay for a vehicle is also predicted to continue to rise. So if you're considering getting a new vehicle, I would buy it as soon as you can. Thank you for watching my presentation, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have any automotive questions. I'm happy to lift the veil. The data collected on our trip together was provided by Cox Automotive, Good Car, Bad Car, and Statistica.